Every man has lived through that high stakes moment where the atmosphere suddenly changes. You're in a conversation, and for a heartbeat, the small talk fades into the background. There is a palpable tension in the air, a silent shift where she looks at you with a spark of genuine curiosity, almost like an open invitation to step closer. But for most men, this is where the wheels fall off. You feel the pressure, you hesitate, and because you don't know the right word to say next, the door of opportunity slams shut. That spark dies out, and you're back to being just another face in the crowd. The reason most men fail in this moment is because they are operating on a flawed blueprint. They believe attraction is a game of performance, that you have to flash money, show off your looks, or maintain a rigid alpha persona to keep her interested. In reality, those things only scratch the surface. True, magnetic attraction isn't about what you have, it's about access. A woman's mind is a vast private landscape filled with dreams, specific memories, and hidden fears that she rarely shares with the outside world. When you spend your time on the surface, you are essentially knocking on a locked door. To move from a stranger to someone she is deeply drawn to, you have to stop speaking to her mask and start speaking to her soul. Most men are stuck in a loop of boring, repetitive questions that make a woman feel like she's at a job interview. But when you ask the right kind of question, the kind that bypasses the ego and touches her deeper psychological layers, everything changes instantly. You'll see it in her body language. Her guard drops, her voice takes on a softer, more intimate tone, and she physically leans toward you. You've just unlocked a side of her that she hides from 99% of the world. Today, we are moving past the superficial. We're going to break down 6 specific questions that act as psychological keys to her emotional world. These aren't manipulative pickup lines designed to trick someone. They are tools of high-level emotional intelligence. They trigger an instinctive human drive to connect and be understood. By the end of this, you won't just be talking at a woman. You'll be the man who knows how to open the door to her world and stay there. The first question is a masterstroke in psychological engagement. What's something you've always wanted to try but never have? On the surface, it sounds like a simple icebreaker, but underneath, it taps into a deep, emotional hunger that most people ignore. Almost everyone lives within the safe, repetitive boundaries of a daily routine, work, chores, and social expectations. But women, in particular, often maintain a very vivid internal world filled with what-ifs. There is a version of herself that is bolder, more adventurous, and completely unfiltered, but she rarely gets the chance to talk about it because most conversations stay stuck in the boring present. When you ask this question, you aren't just making small talk. You are handing her the keys to her own imagination. You are giving her explicit permission to step out of her everyday self and into her potential self. Whether she reveals a secret desire to start a completely different career, travel to a remote corner of the world, or even try a daring hobby she's been too shy to mention, she is doing something significant. She is investing emotionally in the space you've created. She is sharing a part of her spirit that isn't yet finished, and that level of vulnerability creates an immediate, high-speed connection. The real psychological magic, however, happens in the way she begins to perceive you. As she speaks about her dreams and the excitement of future possibilities, her brain is releasing dopamine, the feel-good chemical associated with anticipation and reward. Because you are the one who prompted this feeling, she begins to subconsciously associate you with that sense of expansion and thrill. In her mind, you aren't just another guy asking about her job. You become the man who lets her imagination breathe. You become a source of excitement rather than just another part of her routine, and that shift in perception is a powerful, silent aphrodisiac. The second question in this sequence is a total game changer for building depth. What's the most meaningful part of your day? Most men stick to the standard, "How was your day?" which usually gets a one-word autopilot response. But asking about meaning forces her to stop scanning her calendar and start scanning her heart. It shifts the focus away from her productivity and toward her inner rhythm, the small, quiet moments that actually fuel her spirit, like a morning coffee ritual, a specific song, or a walk in the park. When you ask this, you are sending a silent but powerful message. You aren't just interested in what she does for a living. You are interested in what makes her feel alive. This immediately creates a sense of emotional safety, which is the essential foundation for any real desire to grow. Building on that foundation, the third question is a strategic masterpiece. What kind of people do you feel most comfortable around? This is a genius move because it allows her to define her ideal emotional environment without it feeling like a heavy interrogation. While she's describing these people, she's actually handing you a detailed roadmap of her deepest values and needs. If she says she loves people who are calm and grounded, she's telling you she's exhausted by drama and craves stability. If she mentions people who are deep thinkers, she's revealing that she often feels misunderstood by superficial men. She is giving you the cheat code to her personality, showing you exactly what she requires to let her guard down. The most fascinating part of this exchange happens beneath the surface. As she describes the traits of people she trusts, her brain is instinctively fact-checking you against that list. She is comparing the energy you are projecting in that moment, your calmness, your presence, your ability to listen, with the very things she just said she needs. By simply being a grounded, non-judgmental listener while she speaks, you are proving in real time that you match her criteria. You aren't just telling her you're a great guy. You are becoming the person she feels she can truly be herself around. When a woman realizes she doesn't have to perform or wear a mask around you, she will naturally gravitate toward you with a level of warmth and affection that most men have to chase but never actually catch. The fourth question is perhaps the most intimate of the set. What's something about yourself you're proud of but rarely talk about? In a world that often pressures women to stay modest, quiet, or self-minimizing, she rarely gets a genuine invitation to step into the spotlight. By asking this, you are effectively handing her a green light to discuss her secret victories and personal triumphs without the fear of appearing arrogant or attention-seeking. You are signaling that you are a safe harbor for the parts of her character she keeps hidden from the daily grind. This isn't just small talk. It's an act of validation that tells her, I want to know the person behind the surface. When she begins to recount a challenge she's overcome, a difficult milestone she's hit, or a skill she's quietly mastered, you will notice a visible shift in her demeanor. Her emotional walls will soften because she is finally being recognized for her resilience, her intelligence, and her courage rather than just her physical appearance or charm. You are moving from being just another person she's interacting with to becoming a witness to her life story. This creates a profound sense of connection. While most men are busy trying to impress her with their own achievements, you are doing something much rarer. You are making her feel truly seen. This shift is the ultimate shortcut to deep attraction. Women don't fall for men who just show off their own status or alpha energy. They fall for men who create the space for them to breathe and be their authentic selves. When she shares a victory she's been holding on to, she is effectively inviting you into her inner world. She starts to associate your presence with a feeling of being understood and appreciated for her actual character. By asking this, you are building a bond that goes far beyond the surface, creating an emotional depth that few other men will ever manage to reach. The fifth question strikes at the very heart of modern life's chaos. What's something that instantly relaxes you? We live in a world of high-pressure social expectations and nonstop mental noise, and for most women, true peace is a rare and precious commodity. When you ask about her sanctuary, whether it's a specific book, a hidden hiking trail, or just the smell of rain, you aren't just gathering information, you are triggering her relaxation response in real time. As she describes what brings her peace, her nervous system begins to settle, and she subconsciously starts to feel that same calmness while she is with you. While most men inadvertently create tension by trying too hard to impress or pushing for a result, you are doing the opposite. You are becoming her emotional anchor, a man who provides a psychological sanctuary where she can finally let go of the day's stress. To bring everything together, the sixth and final question shifts the focus forward. What are you looking forward to in the future? This is a powerful move because it invites her to speak about her agency, her ambitions, and the woman she is actively becoming. It moves the conversation beyond who she was in the past and into the realm of her potential. As she describes her goals, whether they involve career growth, creative projects, or personal evolution, her mind begins to do something fascinating. It starts to visualize who in her current life actually fits into that future. By being the one who asks about her direction and listens with genuine respect, you stop being just another guy she met and start being a man who understands her trajectory. You are aligning your timelines, showing her that you value her path as much as she does. By the time you reach this point in the conversation, the shift is complete. You have moved from surface level chatter to a deep, grounded connection. You've shown her that being around you feels different. It feels safe, it feels inspiring, and it feels alive. When a woman associates a man with both the peace of her present and the excitement of her future, she doesn't just feel attracted in a fleeting way. She feels a deep-seated pull to keep that man in her life. You aren't chasing her at this point. You have created a world that she naturally wants to inhabit. At the end of the day, a high-value man understands a truth that most men miss. Attraction isn't something you do to a woman. It's something you allow to happen. You don't need to perform, recite a script, or put on an alpha act to keep her attention. Instead, you provide something much rarer and more magnetic: your presence. While other men are busy chasing a connection or trying to force a result, you are simply creating the space for her to reveal herself. These 6 questions aren't just strings of words. They are the bridges you build between your world and hers. When you use them with a grounded, calm energy, you stop being a stranger and start being a man who truly understands her. Mastering this level of emotional intelligence is what separates those who guess from those who lead with intention. By focusing on her internal landscape, her dreams, her peace, and her secret victories, you build a foundation of trust and intrigue that surface-level attraction can never touch. Your growth as a man isn't about learning how to game the system. It's about developing the character and the curiosity to see people for who they really are. When you show a woman that you respect her path and value her inner world, the connection happens naturally. You don't have to chase what is already gravitating toward you. Now, it's time to put these psychological tools into practice. Take one of these questions, the one that resonated with you the most, and bring it into your next conversation. Observe how the energy shifts, how her guard drops, and how the dialogue transforms from a routine exchange into a genuine moment of connection. If you're ready to master the subtle psychology that shapes your relationships and your personal power, make sure to stay tuned for more insights. Your presence is your greatest asset. Use it wisely. Drop a comment below and let me know which question you're going to try first. I'd love to hear how it works for you.